while we're getting started.
Okay.
That's how you get in. But also, Randy, if you can't jam with us today, because that's not there, ZeroTier API. We have to install that, and you'll jam with us later and me later while we're getting started.
Okay.
That's how you get in. But also, Randy, if you can't jam with us today, because that's not there, ZeroTier API. We have to install that, and you'll jam with us later and me later while we're getting started.
Okay.
Strongbear, are you ready to start? That's how you get in. But
yeah.
If you can't jam with us today, because that's not there, ZeroTier. We have to install that, and you'll jam with us later and me later while we're getting started.
Okay.
Strongbear, are you ready to start?
Yeah, we are ready.
You can't jam with us today, because that's not there. ZeroTier. I'm hearing someone install that, and you'll jam with us later and me later while we're getting started.
Okay.
There is some echo or something.
Strongbear, are you ready to start?
Yeah, we are ready.
You can't jam with us today, because that's not there. Something about my hearing someone install that, and you'll jam with us later and me later while we're getting started.
Okay.
There is some echo or something.
Strongbear, are you ready to start?
Yeah, we are ready.
You can't jam with us today, because that's not there. Something about my hearing someone install that, and you'll jam with us later and me later while we're getting started.
Okay.
Let me look at
There is some echo or something.
Welcome. You ready to start?
Yeah, we are ready. Why does that keep looping? I don't know.
Because that's not there. Something about my hearing someone install that, and you'll jam with us later and me later while we're getting started. It's only that statement.
Okay.
Let me look at
There is some echo or something.
Welcome. You ready to start?
Yeah, we are ready. Okay, I got it. So I had a YouTube tab opening, and then it keep looping.
I thought it was one of my CsoundMeta effects.
Yeah.
That I might have been running in the background. I'm not sure. Are we ready to get started and say hello to everyone?
Yeah, we're ready to do that.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Richard Boulanger, and welcome to Csound in the Metaverse. I'm here with my collaborator and colleague and friend strongbear, and we're happy to welcome you to another live stream where we're going to jam and play. Hello, strongbear.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Dr.B.
So today, well, first of all, welcome. We're sharing with you our app, CsoundMeta. And this is the idea of getting this powerful open source universal software synthesizer developed at MIT in the 70s and 80s and 90s called Csound. And we're sharing that power. It's an incredible synthesizer and effects processor, as I said, open source, developed by Barry Vercoe at the MIT Media Lab. And Rory Walsh, protege and a graduate of Maynooth, a protege of the super C-sounder Victor Lazzarini, has created an API with Csound and Unity. And so by taking advantage of Rory Walsh's API, we're able to bring the whole Csound language and its effects and all of its algorithms. Csound has almost 2,000 opcodes, and opcode's a module. So we've got 2,000 effects processors and waveguide modules, and we build incredibly complex synthesizers with them and powerful effects and dramatic samplers and resamplers and resynthesizers, all kinds of spectral opcodes, and they're all free and they're all open source. And there's a history of computer music that's inside Csound. And so we're sharing and bringing the whole history of computer music into the metaverse as well. Well, I say we. Sure, I have the Csound part covered because I've been doing Csound forever. I wrote the Csound book, and I've been hanging out with Barry Vercoe at the Media Lab since I was a very young man. But I also met a brilliant young man at Berkeley named Strongbear, who's sitting right beside me here. virtually, and Strongbear is the one who has helped me make my dream come true of being able to play with sound, put them in virtual environments, create the worlds that my sounds bring up in my imagination. And so it's really Strongbear who's created the possibility of making Csound grow and live and allowing me and you to compose with Csound in the metaverse. So Strongbear, as always, thank you very much for your incredible work and your incredible programming and maybe your belief that you share with me in this dream and the possibilities of Csound. What in the world would have made you want to work on Csound in the metaverse?
Awesome. Thank you, Dr.B, for like being my advisor, my collaborators for like over a year and a half, I think. So I started out like playing the guitar, singing as well. So and I didn't think about like ended up in the CsoundMeta here, which is a very new way of like experiment with sound and play with sound. So usually when I think about music, I was thinking about like traditional type of music like pop, rock, jazz, funk, and then when I came to Dr.B, my idea was to create a system to compose, perform, and like jam with people, like in using like a virtual reality, so that that we have a compact system that like could carry around anywhere I want, the ocean, at the airport, anywhere I go, I could still make music. But my ideas about music was like a traditional one. Then I came to Dr.B, and after like a lot of like a discussion, then we kind of merged the idea together, and it's how CsoundMeta came up. So we still have the system where we do like compose music, where we could jam with people, we still perform. But the like the music that we are making is more flexible. It's like more freedom in it to tell a story. So we combine with not only the sound side but also the visual. So it's like when you compose in CsoundMeta, it's like you are making a movie.
Right. In some ways, yes. It's we're really creating audio art or a new form of audio art. We're doing soundscaping. We're doing kind of new form of sound composition and building an environment or a tool or a DAW, but not really. This is beyond that for doing this kind of sound composition and sound exploration and sound play. Now, what I thought we would do at the beginning is maybe Strongbear and I might take a minute and jam just a little for you. And while we're doing that, we might even talk to each other and explain a little of what we're doing as we play with some of these sounds. It's always nice to show you a little bit of what's going on in what CsoundMeta is all about. And then what I thought after that we would do is invite some of my current students and former students who have just recently installed CsoundMeta over the last couple of weeks, try to join into a jam with us, because the exciting part of CsoundMeta is not only can you co-locate with numbers of people in your local surrounding and all make music together and sound art together, but also remote players can join. So we just premiered a piece of mine called Csound Dreams in the Metaverse. Well, not just, but back in October in Vienna, Austria, at the International Csound Conference. And on stage in Vienna in a giant black box theater with 30, 40 speakers around us, beautiful screen behind us, and all of our work was projected on the screen. I had maybe 5 or 6 of my students playing with their headsets, playing with me. And I guess just to remind you, all of you would know this, but this is a headset. Let's see if I can get on the camera. There you go. So, we're wearing a Quest 3 or a Quest 2 or a Quest 3S or a Quest Pro. And we're seeing and hearing spatial audio, Csound in these virtual worlds. I'm going to screencast that to you all now while we jam. And but in Vienna, Strongbear was joining us from the United States on stage, and we could see him play. And so even now, Tyler will join us from Paris, France. Bethany will join us from Boston in a few minutes. Emery and Evelyn might join us from Boston. I'm here in Florida in Boulanger Labs South, and for this week's episode. And Strongbear is in Lakewood, Ohio. And so even he and I are going to jam right now from two states. He's in the middle of the country in the north, and I'm down in the south. And then others will join us from anywhere in the world. So the fact that you can actually perform in the metaverse from anywhere in the world is pretty exciting to us too. Now, let me go to casting. Let's see if I need to allow my headset. So I've just plugged the USB cable in, and now I've allowed that, so it knows about me. Now on my headset, I'm going to tell MetaQuest Developer Hub to start casting, and it's casting now what's on my headset. So now as I look, hopefully you can see my desktop here, and so now what I'm going to do is, tell it that I just want to share the screen that I'm casting. So now I'm just sharing the casting screen. I'm going to turn audio on up here so that I'm going to also cast the audio. And just for fun, I'm going to, I'm going to launch my ZeroTier network so that Strongbear can join me. Now, ZeroTier is a VPN, and I've just launched it. Let me bring it up to me so you can see it. So here it is. So I've launched this network, a VPN server. I've turned it on. So now that ZeroTier is running, that would mean that in my university or on a concert stage or even where there are firewalls, anyone could join this virtual network. And so this is how we're able to play in Berkeley, even though Berkeley has a firewall, and I'm able to jam with people right in my classroom, or it's how we're going to play now. So I've launched ZeroTier. That means that Strongbear will be able to join me. And now I'm going to, over here, let me bring it a little closer if I can. I'm going to launch CsoundMeta. Now for all of you, we have shared a Discord channel and a link where you can download CsoundMeta. What you're seeing now is it's telling me I'm using version 9.7.9, which is our latest version. And it's telling me, well, in my case, I'm going to host a kind of jam session. So I've launched myself as host. And now I'm hoping you can see that I'm in a canyon somewhere. There's the sky up above me. And, oh, wait a minute, there's some kind of a temple that's carved in the wall here. And what I'm going to do, these are my controllers. I'm going to push X and Y and just have an orb appear. Now this orb that's appearing in front of me, well, I've got my worlds changing every 30 or so seconds. So now I'm in the jungle. And all of these worlds, by the way, are created with an AI, a beautiful company called Blockade Labs that helps me make something called skyboxes. And so I've been creating these different worlds in which to make sounds. Here we're now in a kind of desert again, with a beautiful galaxy above us. And I'm hoping, as I've created this sound, that you're all hearing it, and you're hearing it even pan from left to right.
Hi, Dr.B, sorry for interrupt, but I'm sharing both your screen and my screen so that people would see it from both, from the host and the client side. So Dr.B is now a host and I'm a client. So similar.
And by the way, for all of you joining on Zoom right now, which is great if you want to talk to me and if you want to even appear in the live stream and ask questions or try things like that, that's good. But if you really want to get the best sound and the best graphics right now, you probably want to join the live stream link and come back to Zoom later. But those of you who are going to join me in the jam may want to stay in Zoom. I don't know. What would you recommend, Strongbear? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, like, open both live stream and the Zoom at the same time, but like, but mute the audio from Zoom and then yeah, listen from the live stream.
Okay.
For the audio. And
so what you're seeing is, are we okay? Should I continue, Strongbear?
I want to show people like I'm joining with you from here, so like I'm on ZeroTier.
Instructions now. Okay.
On the ZeroTier here, so I could do the same thing. I turn on the ZeroTier network, and then I now say online on the bottom here. I could go to CsoundMeta, continue. It's loading. They made it with Unity. And I'm on the same version with Dr.B, which is 9.7.9. What I'm going to do differently is I'm going to be a client. And I got the Dr.B IP address over here. So I just hit connect. And waiting is connecting. We double check.
I'm looking for him. Let's see if he's connecting.
And it's not connected yet, so I'm checking for IP address. Make sure we're still using last address, like 32.22.2.3.
Yeah, show me that. I'm Csounder. I mean, I'm yep.
So I'm looking on ZeroTier central, like central here, and Csounder is online 1 minute. I'm not sure why I'm not. Let me check my IP address over here.
You could try a different IP. I was finding that was messing up a little bit. Or
so mine
me in class.
8.
Oh, you want the numbers again?
I'm looking at mine. So let me share my screen so people I'm talking.
Okay.
I'm looking at a list of devices that join the same network. So Dr.B should be online and join, but let's see mine. My ZeroTier address is app 8B something. I don't see it in the list. Right, I got it here. It's the join is online. Should be good. Dr.B, could you double check your ZeroTier or ZeroTier address?
ZeroTier is on. I'm looking at it right now. You want me to turn it on and off, or just show it? I should be looking at it.
And read your address for me. The ZeroTier address.
You mean the F7563712.8E?
Yeah, that's good. It say you're online 1 minute ago, same as mine. It was online 1 minute ago. Why is
Should I turn it off and on again?
Yeah, maybe try something.
Okay, I've turned it off, and now I've turned it back on.
For Bethany and Tyler, could you try the same thing using this IP address, like 172.22.2.3, and see if you could connect to Dr.B? Maybe as
I did try, and it didn't let me connect either.
Oh, it did.
Why don't you try giving him the 22 address again? I don't know why, but
172.22.2.3.
got even got 22 as the last two numbers. I think that's the Csound Dr.B. They seem to be connecting to that for some
I'm gonna
reason.
put the IP address into the Zoom chat.
Okay. You want me to quit and restart? I can try that too.
Um, okay, so in the meantime, would one like Tyler to try different IP address, which will be mine. So up the address and then I'll send it to Tyler.
Are you thinking you might need to be the host today?
I'm just trying different things to figure out what's happening.
I thought you and I were able to jam yesterday.
Right.
Maybe not.
So Tyler, could you try that IP address? Okay, so I'm becoming a host.
I'll try that.
I'm on 22.23.
So the one ending with 3, so .2.3 is Dr.B and .2.14 is mine. And we are both host.
Hmm.
Could you join 2.14, Bethany?
Hang on. What would you like me to do? Join?
No,
The connecting to screen.
oh, so it says connected, but it's not connected.
It says connecting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me. It says connecting. It's like the 0.3, but it doesn't connect.
Wow. The ZeroTier is up today.
So you're not succeeding with ZeroTier at your house either, huh, Strongbear?
Yeah, so I was a host, but like Tyler and Bethany couldn't join me.
Shall you try joining me one more time then? Or maybe I'll quit ZeroTier and start it again.
And on my end is so in ZeroTier, like at the bottom it says offline.
Yeah, mine says off. Now mine says online.
Mine say offline.
Connecting to me again.
Cool.
It says online.
Bethany and Tyler, could you go to ZeroTier and look at the bottom? Does it say online or offline?
I'm trying to connect to Dr.B to see if the ZeroTier thing, we're supposed to see that on our computer or in
the ZeroTier app, like I'm in here. Okay. That's the case. So like in ZeroTier, you open ZeroTier and then at the bottom, say like online or offline. I hope you see it.
okay. So I think ZeroTier. I'll reset my MetaQuest because ZeroTier that just opens up with the MetaQuest. Is that correct? Because I downloaded it before, but it's not under the app.
Well, you need to open ZeroTier just like CsoundMeta, like any other Meta app.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in the headset. Bethany, you should be able to succeed with this.
I'm on 2.14. My ZeroTier says online.
Does it say online? Okay.
So then try to join me
Yeah, you could try to join Dr.B
as a client.
at .3 and join me at .14. We have 2 hosts in here, so and I hope one of us be like
It does show
successful.
the network name strongbear and it
Uh-huh.
shows the network ID.
Right. So
And yeah,
at the bottom, see
it says online.
online. Yeah, now let's try 172.22.2.3. Doesn't work, then try 172.22.2.14.
Well, if we can't jam, we can demo and
Yeah,
things.
if it doesn't work, then I think Dr.B need to be solo on demoing.
Which will be good. Some people have joined us have never seen it working yet.
Oh, I'm in with you.
Oh yeah, I see Tyler. Tyler was able to join me.
Tyler, where are you?
Tyler was able to join me.
He joined you, but he needs to join me.
Exactly. So Tyler, now try 172.22.2.3.
Okay.
See if it did work.
I'm with you, Dr.B. Or I was, and then it quit.
There you are. Someone's here. Green mallets.
Right, it was me, but it quit.
Uh-oh. Someone has just disappeared.
Okay.
But they were here.
But that's good.
Green mallet.
That's good news. So.
I think that might
Yeah,
be
so
me.
I
Just
got in
refresh.
and then it quit me. So I'm
Yeah,
trying
same
again.
for me.
Yeah, maybe Dr.B, did you restart the session again, like stop host and then become a host again?
I'll quit and become the host again, okay? And everyone, let's do that.
Yeah.
Quit. Oh, someone else just joined me a second ago, but I'll start again. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Csound and the Metaverse. I have just launched CsoundMeta. I am now becoming the host by choosing from the top menu item. I'm hosting the app, and I'm waiting for jammers to join me. Someone has
Ooh.
just joined.
I'm going to join you on this IP
Over here
address.
in their arm. Is that you,
72.10.
Strongbear?
No, it's now I'm joining. I'm green.
Okay, hold on, Tyler. I hope you've been practicing. And someone
I'm
else maybe
connecting.
just joined.
Join.
Who's
Join. I'm green.
That's
I'm in it now.
Strongbear is green. Tyler is over here. I think Bethany just joined.
Yeah, I'm gray.
Bethany, what color are you?
Bethany's gray, but like, where's your right hand?
I think Bethany is. There you are, Bethany. You're exactly in the same space as me. Let me see if I can get away from you, or you can move around a little in your space there to
Yeah.
get a little bit away from me. See if you can do that. Okay, everyone. Hey, it looks like we have a jam here. Now, I want you kids to wait.
Yeah. You could like you could hide your controllers by.
Here. Point your controllers down at the ground, please, if you're not playing right now, so we don't see your lasers. Thank you.
Or you could press both triggers. Press in both triggers at the same time. It will hide your controllers.
Let's just have them for now point their screen lasers down. We'll show you some features later that turn you into another mode. Okay? There you go. Just stay here because I'm going to hand you a sound in a minute. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Now, let me see if I can get away from the desk. Bethany, it seems like you and I are still sharing the same space, so you need to relocate yourself if you can. Like move around, reset your boundary, and move a little further if you can. Okay, now, hello, everyone. Welcome. So, here I am in the metaverse. I'm hosting. What you can see in front of me are these cheat sheets that are kind of telling me some of the button combinations. And I've been joined because of the VPN ZeroTier network by Tyler in Paris, Bethany in Boston, and Strongbear in Ohio. What I'm going to do right now is just bring up a sound and I'm going to hand it to each of them to play. We're going to jam in a minute, but I just want to show you the process. I have these two sticks, two mallets. One is larger than another. And I do that. You can change the size of the head of a mallet very conveniently, but I'm doing this kind of larger mallet head in the left hand because when I play a sound, it allows me to kind of change the parameters of the sound as I move through the sound. Okay? Bethany, you're still in my space. Maybe. There we go. I'll try to get a little closer. Now, first of all, I'm going to bring up a menu and I'm going to tell my worlds not to change all the time. So I'm going to just pick a world like this reef, and I'm up above a reef in Florida here, so I think that's appropriate. So I've selected a world. How did I do that? In my left hand, the hamburger menu, I pushed in on that and I got menu options. So I pointed my laser at world. I pushed my trigger, boop, one time, and I got a whole bunch of worlds, and I could point at the sort of scroll bar here and slide up and down the menu to see what worlds I might choose. I could choose a castle at night. I could choose that reef again. So let's sit over the reef for now. Let's go back. I've pointed it back. I've used my trigger, which is the kind of pistol trigger here, boom, and selected back. Now, what I really want to do for now is just bring up a sound randomly. I don't know which one it's going to pick, but by pushing X and Y, an orb appears. Now, this orb, I don't even know if this is, there we go. Oh, good. This orb, I hear nothing at the beginning because it was gray. And so gray usually means an orb is silent. To allow you to hear an orb, what you do is point at it with your left controller with the laser, maybe hold it. And how am I holding? You see my left hand here? This is called the grip on the inside. So I'm gripping it. Then I'm using my right laser and pointing and gripping and stretching it out. So now that I've made the orb large, I could even pull it. I could reach out and hit it. Right? You're hearing these speakers say, nope, 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 nope. Right? Now, if I'd like to bring that orb closer to me, I use the lasers and the joystick control on any control. I grip it, I grab it, I'm holding it now. You notice that? And I'm pulling it into me. So now I can just keep hitting it because it's nice and close. Nope, 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 nope. I could grab it and pan it. Right? Okay. Now, I could even give this sound over here to Tyler, who's way over there. And what I did was I grabbed it. I used my joystick to send it over to Tyler. Tyler could hit it now. He's not, there it is. He's striking through it. And now Tyler's playing that sound in Paris. And he's hearing that sound in Paris. And he's seeing the reef in Paris. Okay? Now, let me make another sound. I'm just going to pick it randomly with X and Y. Now this is crackling and gurgling dry. I've made it louder so I could hear it. It's just this crackling sound. And I'm going to send this sound over to maybe strongbear over here. And there does seem to be a sound flying all over the place. And I don't know what that one is. Someone created it, I guess. So strongbear, can you play the crackle for us? I think you need to strike it with your left mallet. I'm not hearing it. Let me see if I can turn up the volume for everyone. Let me make another sound, mincer. Yep, sounds like our sounds have gone dead. What do you
His
think?
crackle's coming through for me, just so you know.
You're hearing that, huh?
Yeah, I'm hearing the crackle.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Thanks for chiming in, Tyler, and telling us. I'm going to pick a movement. All of you are watching me, right?
Yeah.
So I brought
think
up
I could hear from mine as well.
hamburger menu. I'm selecting movements. I'm going to scroll down to something I prepared to start a jam today. And I'm going to use CS Tuesday Jam X. So I created this. It's going to put away all those sounds. And if I'm lucky, it's going to start playing these melodic library of sounds. There we go. There's rust mid-breath. Here's rust high sigh. Over here is crackle. Let's make it louder. Right? Now, over here is one of my favorites, because I want to show you this before we start jamming. And then Strongbear and I will begin the jam, and then Tyler and Bethany will join. See this sound in front of me, copper? Watch this when I hit it. Right? You can hear this. Right? But as I move it around and move through it with my controller, well, I was making a lot more interesting variations earlier, but someone has brought up a menu. I don't know why. Let's cancel that. Would you there you go. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'll show you more of this later. Let me try on this one. Hold on. Let's put copper out of the way. Okay. So what I'd like to do is just maybe have us start jamming. Now, the other thing I want to show you about these objects, notice this orb doesn't have any satellites around it, right? But this one does. Each of those is another orb, another preset associated with this mid-breath. These we call palettes. And so when I have a palette in front of me with all of these presets, I could point at one of those and use my trigger to call it, and now it's loaded up Rust Low theme. All right? So it's changing this sound, right? Now I'll call up Rust Teal medium theme. Right? This little kind of individual bell sound, right? So what's happening here is, you know, I can, you know what I think is happening? Change master volume. Uh-oh. I think, there we go. I don't know if mine just crashed. Are you guys playing still?
Oh, I think you pressed the two triggers and you turn in a watcher.
Okay.
So press the joystick on both hands at the same time. Yeah, here you
I
go.
got it. Am I still playing?
Yeah. Hit the bell.
I can't. Okay, let's try to turn the volume up. No, I can't hear anything at my end anymore.
Either.
Yeah. So on my headset I can hear it, but like on your end, like from Zoom, there's no sound.
Okay,
Yeah, I can't hear it on my end either.
hold on. I chose another jam. Here we go. Okay. So I guess, can you hear me as I'm talking to you over the stream and over the Zoom now?
Yes.
Good, okay. So we're gonna start a jam, all of us. You're noticing that I put these more melodic instruments in front of us so that as you hit each of the orbs, they'll play different kind of note combinations, right? And the other thing I want to show all of you is if you hold the A and B button, it'll automatically jump to another preset when you're pointing at it with a laser. So you see this just went to bell hit 2 because I pushed A and B. This just went to point at it to low wave 2 because I pushed A and B. So you can change through the presets of a palette with your A-B controls, right, and play. So what I'd like to do right now is start a little bit of a jam with all 4 of us that are here, okay? So I've got a little crackling going. You can grab an orb. You know how to point your lasers and pull an orb to you to play it. Do that. Point your laser, pull an orb to you with the joystick, and you can start playing. And let's listen to each other. Now, if something is flying around very fast, you can point a laser at it to stop it, and you can pull it back to you. So you can kind of try to catch it and pull it back. So you point, you grab, and then it becomes back to you. Like this laser, I pointed at this, it's flying all around, I'll bring it back. Here it is, low wave. Good. Nice. And I would recommend that each of you try to move around in your own space to kind of make a little room for each other while we jam. I'm in a little bit of tight quarters here in Boulanger Labs, Florida. You've got to have your orb right in front of you, Tyler, to strike it. Or all of you could point at an orb with a laser and push both the grip and the trigger to connect the patch cord, and then your A button will trigger that sound, even if you're not pointing at it. So I'm playing low wave kind of remote, even though I'm not near it or pointing at it. And in fact, I could use my Y button to turn it into a wanderer so that it now could fly about the space with my patch cord connected, and I can still trigger it or change the presets on it, right? And trigger it remotely. So I'm putting this guy way out here. I'm flying my kite kind of far away so that it doesn't bump into any of you, all right? Make it louder, Tyler. There you go. Back to you. Let's see, how's Strongbear doing? Oh, he started a piece by Andreas Bjork. Now, Strongbear brought up a classic. See this crystal that he's playing? Andreas is now a professor at Berkeley, But many years ago, Andreas was one of my students, and this was one of Andreas's first C-Sound pieces. He does a lot of stuff for PBS and television. He's in the film scoring department now at Berkeley. Let's get rid of crackle, because some of you guys don't like crackle, because you think something's broken with your headsets and your speakers. I happen to like the sound of crackling fires and light, but hey. So that's Hibernia that's playing. We're chilling out now a little bit, which is nice. I'm looking around the space. I'm going to pull back my melody instrument that I was connected to and trigger it. Mid-wave. All right. I'm going to choose another preset. Mid-gliss. I'm playing that low note theme right now. Uh-oh. Now, you know, if the orbs go flying all over, you also can push A and Y and they come home. They come back to you. So here they come. Boom, boom, I got them. I've got them out of the way. So that's the way to stop them if they're bumping into each other or flying all over. Right? Bethany, are you still here playing with us? I hope so. A good place to stop. That was the end of Andreas's piece, right? So what I did as the host was I just held down the X key in A and B simultaneously, and it erased all the orbs. Now what I could do, since our jam was pretty good, why don't I choose another movement? And let me choose a little bit of a different jam. Let's try jam 3. A little more drum oriented and groovy, I think. Nice. Oh, hardly. This gamelan instrument is by a dear friend, Tomek Koniewski. And it's really not a gamelan. I think he's playing some pots and pans. And I've transposed it, and great improviser. And that's this gamelan, right? Might be nice to turn it into a wanderer and just let it fly around. Maybe a little softer. This was kind of what I wanted to show you all. Look at these mallets are doing to this rust sound. Look. So each sound can be kind of mutated in your hands. And what we can do with this that's so exciting is I can take this sound mid-breath and I can say to the sound, hey, bring up your controls. There they all are above it now. And I can say, I'd like to look up the sound settings for this sound. And now I can over here change what triggers it, what MIDI range of notes are going to play when I sweep through it. And as you see, the MIDI note numbers here are changing based on the orb shape. So that's why you're seeing all these faders move when I move my orb through this rust sound. All right? Oh, nice, whoever's playing the chords. Thank you very much. I'm just having too much fun with Rust. Now, what all of you need to know a little bit historically is this. Rust is one of the instruments that I created in 1979, in the summer of '79, at the MIT Experimental Music Studio. There wasn't even an MIT Media Lab then. On a little PDP-11 mini computer. Cost millions of dollars, that computer, and one of the only digital to analog converters in the country at the time, a floating point DAC built by Analog Devices. Now this sound I'm still playing, and I'm still playing with it, and I'm still discovering it, right? Pretty cool, right? And some of these sounds I've never heard Rust make, but it's making them now in the metaverse, under my direct control of my hands. This is that dream I'm talking about, of just playing with sound like it's clay in your hands. All right? Love it. So there goes Rust. And here is this beautiful bell instrument, Sine Cloud, a generative instrument I created recently, inspired by one of my students. Right? I love these. So, a variant of Rust here. I hope all of you are finding that you can point at an orb, that you can grab it, that you can use the joystick to pull it towards you, and you can play it by moving through it, right? And again, if you hold the Y button while you're pointing at it, it turns into a wanderer. So you can send it off and just let it play on its own. We're in a cobblestone street modeled on Boston in the 1800s. 1900s, maybe, early. There's Rust, you recognize that sound, maybe. Here's Violet. Might be nice if we brought a little drum action into here, huh? Let's go to my instruments. Let's go to orbs. Let's look at the list of instruments. Let's go to the drum family, and let's pick maybe kick and snares and see what that sounds like. It's silent because it's silver. Let's bring it out. Oh, I don't know if those are snares. Those are my kind of gurgling brooks again. Well, this is my idea of a drum kit. Good. So it's just doing its thing and percolating along. Let's leave that there. And let's go close that. And let's go to the instruments again, but go to the classic collection. Because now this is where I have all of the pieces by Csounders. And wait a minute, Istan Varga did some great kick drums. So let's grab maybe this kick at 150 BPM. And where is it? There it is down there. Let's open it up. Maybe a little too fast. Go to 83. Driving me a little crazy. let's leave it there. Now let me show you something cool. Strongbear has added effects. And so if I go to the, well, I've made the effects, but Strongbear has added the capability to connect the output of an instrument into an effect. So here's my delay with reverb effect. Hello, that's me talking into a delay with reverb. Wait, instead, why don't I connect my drum loop into it? This kick drum is funny, huh? Now, if I just want to delete an object, I can point at it with my laser, and I can just push down the joystick and it deletes it. It looks like some orbs are flying all over. So what I might do is choose another movement for us, CS Tuesday Jam 2. And what you're hearing in the background is a kind of famous Csound piece called Xanadu, and we're sort of jamming over that. I quieted things down a little for us. Some of you, I think, are playing nice things. Turn around and look at you over there. Some of you are behind me now. There you go. Hello. I'll bring up another object for us. Taupe. Oh, you want to see something neat that Strongbear just added in this version? You can now put objects on top of each other. So I'm going to put this bell tree. Now let's see what happens when I hit it. Right, a little bell. But I can now layer it with taupe. And so now I can strike through both at the same time, adjusting their volume, putting them on top of each other, and now striking through both at the same time. So you want to layer and mix instruments, you literally can layer them now. Let's take these chords and put them into the mix too. So now I'm playing chords, bells, and let's add some rumble. Wow. That's one stroke playing, 5 or 6 orbs at a time. Right? Right? Pretty cool, huh? This is a new feature. Now, you know what I'd like to do is maybe stop us for a second and go to silence, nothing pass. So what this will do is put away all the instruments and go to pass through so I can look back at all of you. Now, and we can look at what I'm seeing, right? I'm passing through. Here's a menu again. Let's go back. And again, we've been looking at the instrument menu or the setup menu. It's under the menu on my left hand. You see the little cliff notes that appear, and maybe you can read that, maybe not. There you go. And so you see the choices in our menus and the like. Okay, I'm putting that away. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to have strongbear kind of show you or explain to you a little bit about our effects. So I'd like to stop us from jamming for now. So jammers either go to watcher mode, which I guess strongbear was saying if you hold down both joysticks at the same time, it'll turn off your lasers. So push down both joysticks. Thank you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up a little thing to just show you this vocal effect idea. And then I'm going to stop jamming or, singing. And then I'm going to let strongbear take over and show you how he set it up so you can connect from one effect to another and chain them together, okay? So what I'd like to do right now is select a movement. And the movement I'm going to select from the ones I saved before our session was Csound Drum Effects Demo. So, or Jam with Effects. But let me see which one. Maybe Jam with Effects first. Okay. Hello? 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 So what you're hearing here is, let's get rid of the trick light. Let's see what else is here. So I've got a few effects. This is the resonator bank. And a kind of ring modulating reverb. Let's make the resonator bank softer. And I got a little drum groove going here. So, of course I'm talking to maybe I'll push the Y button. I'll push the X button. And so up comes the little palette. I'll push the X button on this ring modulating reverb. And now I'll use my grip. I'll grab the connection. Now, I'm going to let strongbear explain this to you, but look how nice. Now my mic isn't playing into these effects, the drums are. Right? And I can feed the output from one effect into another and chain together effects. That ring modulator is not doing much. Let's connect the drum to the resonator bank. Now you definitely hear me trying to transmit the plans for the Death Star to strongbear, but it might sound better if I resonate it first and then add the ring modulation. So I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to hopefully Bear is here in green and is sharing with me. I'm going to turn this on. I know you're watching him as well as a client, and maybe Bear, you'll take over and explain a little bit some of these features related to effects, and even show him the sampler that you've created. What do you think?
Great, yeah. It's going to be exciting. So the list of instruments here, we have sampler and live effects. sampler is this sampler is not like finished yet. It's not done. It's not, but like it's a proof of concept. Basically, the sampler could record our voice, or if you plug in a mic, then you could record your instrument and store them as a route them to effects. So for example, record my voice right here. Yep. So I hit record and then I hit start. Then I say audio recorded. I could play it as one shot. My voice right here. Yep. And then or I could play it as a loop right here. My voice right here. I could save it. Here. I can load it later. Then with this one, it's like you could fit it into an effect. For example, I'm gonna pick up my voice right here. Have in here is wah right here. And so without any connection, this effect gonna process my voice. Like right now I'm talking and it's processing my voice at the same time. But then I could connect the output of the sampler to the input of the effects right here. So the output is a golden small orb right here, and the input of the wah is one at the bottom right. So once you make the connection, it shows the chord right here. My voice right here. And if you listen, then you will hear it's processing the recording. I could change the effects. Let's say something else. My voice right here.
And I would just want to say to everyone, Strongbear, that if they notice all of the little mini orbs above the effect, you can fine tune or assign controls or gestures to the effects. And so, and even I could control his effects from here. So he could say, I want to change my settings, and he might really want the flange rate to be very slow or fast, or the amount of feedback. Here are our presets, but the fact of the matter is you could control or do anything you want to modify the kind of effect settings and save it as your own preset, right? So there are ways of, as you're seeing now, creating unique samples and sample libraries and processing them. Or, as you would say, if Strongbear disconnected this, then now I'm talking into the flanger. And so you could play with an external mic, or you could play with an external mic, or you could play with, I'm using a wireless set of mics that I bought from Amazon for like $29. It's a pair of wireless mics with USB-C for the wireless receiver. And you basically plug the USB-C microphone receiver into your Quest headset, and now you've got two mics for a trumpet player and a vocalist to be captured in the metaverse. So we're working now on a string quartet. I have 4 of these mics, and I'm working with Bethany on a piece for recorder in the metaverse. And so we're starting to explore the possibilities of integrating or bringing live audios into the system. Back to you, Strongbear.
Yeah. So like we could change the effects like in parallel or like in theory. Let's say I'm doing another effect in here. I could change it to make it like serial effects processing. Or I could make it parallel like this one. Yeah. And then not only the sampler, but you could bring up like a other instrument, for example, like a harp, computer or something. And you could take that input of a, then you could play. Or you could also connect output of like a classic. This classic is a big drum. And output of it.
Nice. There you go. I think that's what I was trying to show them. Strong Bear, you beat me. Good one.
The drum.
Very nice.
The drum is now processed by the Boulanger. Over here in the sampler, we could stop it, play, so we could hear the drum like clearer. He let me the output into reverb. Like that. I think that's it. Back to you, Dr.B.
This is pretty exciting. I think Strong Bear's doing a good. He's preparing a nice dish for me to have a little fun with. Should I say something like "Follow the yellow brick road"?
You say that again, your voice has become softer.
I love it because it's doing this random freeze reverb effect that's doing a spectral freeze, one of Csound's opcodes, and that's what's creating all the little blips and blobs because it's grabbing little bits of the real-time audio input and kind of freezing it. And that's where all these pops are coming from. It's actually a spectral effect. It's pretty cool. Well, we're having too much fun. I've got to stop us. Let's stop for now. So we can jam again in a minute, but I think it might be nice if we pass through and see if anyone has questions or thoughts or suggestions or whatever. That was pretty interesting. Looks like Emery has arrived too, maybe. I don't know. But hello, Emery. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second, go back to the group, and maybe some of you might have some, yes, that's the right URL for sharing, for jamming later, Emery, but we're going to get back to that in a minute. I don't know if I turned mine off yet, but I might have. I'm going to plug it into the charger for a second and start a final jam at the end. But let's interrupt now for some questions. It took us a second to get things started today, as some of you noticed. And, well, you know, IP addresses, pairing Bluetooth devices, pairing devices, sometimes that takes time. And sometimes it requires resetting your router. Sometimes it requires restarting the app. I don't know that Strongbear and I, with all of our experience with, well, let's just say we've suffered more headaches than most trying to get these things to work. We've been in the hot spot more times than I can count, or I have been. I've been doing live electronic music since 1980 something, and you know, things break. I was at the Kennedy Center premiering a piece of mine called 3 Chapters from the Book of Dreams for the Max Matthews Electronic Stradivarius Violin. I'm at the Kennedy Center. Quad, the strings are all quad. We've modeled the Stradivarius at Bell Laboratories, and all of a sudden pedals weren't connecting. Things were broken. I'm with my teeth stripping wires, trying to wrap them together. There's been a lot of interesting moments, many stories to share with all of you over time. But I don't know if Strongbear or I have an answer to what was causing our IP to, you know, freak out. But it could very well be that the internet that I'm using right here in Boulanger Labs, Florida, is not quite as good. And so it could have been dropping packets or whatever. I don't know, but we're glad everyone was able to jam initially, and we're going to have a nice jam session at the end. I want to just back up 1 second. We will answer questions, but I want to talk to my partner here, my collaborator. Hey, Strongbear, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like the first time we show people about like connecting live effects and sampler.
Yeah. Very nice. And so there's so much more that we're really working on to do this live effects and live processing. I have a concert coming up in Poland in November. We're going to do a little bit of in the keynote address at Berkeley at the ICMC. This is the little wireless mics that I'm talking about from Amazon. I'll make sure I put a link in Discord to some of the things that I'm using. And I can't believe how good these things are. I'm talking into one now, and the fact that you can kind of put a whole bunch of them on a hub, and it assigns unique addresses for them, so you can run 6 mics or whatever. So we've got 4 running off of a headset right now with independent audio in to our effects. So there's a lot of possibilities we're just beginning to explore. We're very excited about. I'm hoping all of you got to see a little of some of the effects capabilities, and there's more to come. as we're adding all kinds of features in the effects area to CsoundMeta. And even over the next couple of weeks, I intend to add another dozen effects to the library so that you can start doing more interesting things. And it's especially incredible when you kind of, like you were showing, Strongbear, run them in parallel or in series. And so there's a lot of magical possibilities there. And also you were seeing this new capability that Strongbear added just in the last week, where orbs can be kind of stacked on top of each other for like layering. And again, their volumes can be adjusted. The volume of the object, literally its volume, and you change it, and then you can simultaneously trigger them or have them all connected to the same patch cord and trigger them with a button. So, and save that preset. So there's a lot to already of what's possible. And so, Strongbear, are you seeing any questions, or do you have anything
Yeah.
you'd like to comment or share with anyone
Right.
based on what we've done? Take it away.
Randy, I got a question about the mic delay. And unfortunately, for now, we have no solution for that. It's right from Unity. So unless we could like get in touch with the Unity team and somehow they could solve that. Other than that, I unfortunately right in Unity whenever you use the mic, it's already introduced that delay.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with that. You know, I can imagine it'd be very difficult to get the delay down. I was just wondering if I was doing something wrong, but I'm relieved to see that that's normal behavior.
Yeah, it's we want to get rid of that delay, but like now we don't have the solution for that.
And then
So, you know what I do, Randy, of course, is, and I know you have so much experience with playing with guitar synthesizers. This is the famous Randy Ross, by the way, from Berkeley, a pioneer in electronic guitar work and everything. And so welcome, Randy.
It's Roos, though.
It's a Roos, sorry.
Just so
oh,
you know.
boy, I'm a terrible guy, but I'm going to let you mispronounce my name a dozen times too, I hope. And, Randy, it's so exciting to have you on board with us and see all your guitars back there. And I mean, you were one of the first people to bring electronic and guitar control and synthesizers into the guitar department at Berkeley back in the day. We've both been here a while. And I'm so excited to have you playing in the metaverse. And so what I do, of course, is I'm building the delay into the compositions themselves. So I'm making it that so I'm writing it into the work. And so it's not that I'm going to synchronize my delay times, but it's the kind of musical lines that I'll write that'll work well over ambient things or work well with, with the processing. And so I'm composing around it. But yeah, it's not you for sure.
And the other thing I need to do is figure out the ZeroTier.
Yep.
And I don't think I'm established as a developer. I'm a little confused about that, although I was able to get Csound installed, so I did something. But I'm having a blast with it, I must say. It's
good. And we can help you set up the ZeroTier. I can do that with you one-on-one anytime. You don't need to bring anything anywhere. We just need to take, 20 minutes or whatever and on a Zoom and say, okay, now do that. Now try that. And
cool.
It's a little, they're a little tricky, but you won't need any special developer status to get ZeroTier installed either. You can just drop it right on. If you have the right APK, if you downloaded it, you'll open up CsoundMeta Quest Developer Hub and just drop it right on, and it will install it in your headset. Then you just need to turn it on. And yeah, so it's easier than you think to get that installed. Getting CsoundMeta installed is it's about 8 steps, but that's really mainly just one. So, and then
so
you should be able to join us.
Maybe we could do a Zoom on that. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Are there any other questions or things, Strongbear, you would want to bring
Yeah.
up? Or...
So there's a question from Ali, like, is CsoundMeta open source to build your own virtual background? And so, can answer this question. So in the future, we'll make CsoundMeta open source. Now we need to clean it up so that it's ready for operators to contribute to the open source. Yeah.
It's
but
coming.
yeah, but if you want to build your own like virtual background and sound, you could for now use the Blockade Labs Skybox API, and for sound you can use Csound. So Csound is already open.
Yeah. And, you know, if you have a piece, a Csound piece or Csound instruments, and you'd like us to add them, we're happy to do that right now as we're developing. So, in fact, what you started to see, but once you get this installed and you go into the classics menu, you're going to see hundreds of compositions there. We've tested over 350 Csound pieces. They're all, you know, in line to be added to CsoundMeta, so that the whole history of computer music, including some of Max Matthews' earliest experiments in his Music 5 languages from the 1950s, run in Csound. And so I'm putting Max's examples in here too for the ICMC. Now, what that ICMC is just to remind some of you, it's the International Computer Music Conference. It's taking place in Boston this June. On the 11th and 12th are the big Berkeley days, but we're collaborating with 5 other universities in the Boston area. It's for about a week long, hundreds of concerts and workshops. And I'm one of the keynote speakers talking about the history of my work with Max Matthews and Tom Oberheim and Alan Perlman, Barry Verco, John Fitch, all of these developers of computer music languages. And I'm showing some of their inventions. And in the end, we will have a performance of my piece that I wrote for Vienna called Csound Dreams, with a bunch of my students and some people joining remotely as well. So we're kind of gearing up for that. But the other fun part of the International Csound Conference, the International Computer Music Conference, this is the 50th anniversary of it. And so it's a big one. It's a big one. And we're doing a big workshop on the 12th, all morning long in the loft at Berkeley, where we'll have headsets for any conference attendee or Berkeley student to come in and play. And then at night, that same night on the 12th, we're having a virtual jam session in a bar, in a nightclub next door to Berkeley called King's. It's a kind of bowling alley club, nightclub, and bar. So I can't wait to be jamming. And I don't know, probably the Red Sox will be playing on the screens around the bar, but all of the ICMC people will be watching Csound Metaverse in their headsets. Or I don't know what the plan is yet exactly, but I'm kind of excited that finally we're going to be taking, as a side note, as a young player, I grew up in the Boston area playing in bands for weddings and at bars and clubs. And so it's kind of exciting to finally be able to bring Csound back to a club, like I was gigging in when I was 12 and 13 and 14 on. And so I'm excited about that. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be a whole night of meta jamming, CS meta jamming. So we'll see. Are there any more questions, Strongbear, that you wanted to answer?
No. It's a question. Oh, maybe in the chat here. Okay, so Emery said he has a generative bits that work well in CsoundMeta.
Well, for $9.99, now Emery's a current student, right? So I'm joking. Emery, for $9.99, we'll add your, and by that I mean 9,999. Csound's free, but putting your piece in, there's a small service fee. No, Emery, I can't wait to put your generative piece in here. Won't that be cool?
Yeah, that sounds super cool, especially because I'll have my generative prototype, which I would love to send through it like acoustically, so it could be really cool, like the combination of the two. I'm like excited about that
Good.
possibility.
Well, send me the piece right away, and we'll
Yeah,
add
for
it in
sure.
the
I want to
next.
make sure it's like very like legible because I don't think I've sent it to you before, but it's because I've like really did it like after our C sound class, but it's yeah, it should be like pretty straightforward. That'll be cool.
Absolutely,
Thanks.
and we'll try to add it in the next couple of days. It'll be out with the new release next week, and it'll be in the classic section for sure.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
Now
Yeah,
I've heard,
it's fun.
and I've heard Emery's generative thing, and that has been great. And also, Emery, it's very cool that I saw you've started to try to save movements, and you've started to save a composition. So it's nice
Yeah,
that
I
you're
actually I
thinking.
have one that I'm working on right now that I would love to show y'all at some point soon because I think it yeah, I think that's like getting I'm still trying to figure out the whole graphic interface like multiple parts of it, but definitely saving like one movement at a time has been
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, that's the secret. You've got to save the movements, and then you put them in, and you associate worlds with them. And we're working on that too. We won't take a minute in today's show. We showed it a little bit in one of the previous ones. We will try to show it again in next week. We're going to get together, and hopefully, even more of you will be able to join us and jam with us. And so we'll show next week again how to really compose and set up your own movements and compositions. I think today we might try a little bit more of a jam. Now, as I look at you on the screen here, Emery, and I don't know if everyone in the live stream is seeing you. I think they might be, but we see you with this trumpet in your hand and some
Yeah.
wire sticking out of your Quest
Yep.
3S. So
Yep.
my guess is the wire is your microphone that's miking your trumpet, correct?
Yeah, so it's my Scarlett 2i2. So this is my first time. I have the enable external microphone turned on and I restarted the Quest. So hopefully that's all that would be required to be taking in the channel one input from my
Yep.
microphone into
Well, I'll
Csound.
tell you, there is one caveat with that. There's one little secret, and it might be there's a problem with the Scarlett for this. The
Yeah,
Meta Quest, the Meta people are so smart that
yeah,
they want to make it so that if you plug in a mic, you're probably plugging in a mic that has a headphone jack on it. So you
yeah,
can also put little headphones in, get better audio, and still use a mic. So for
yeah,
podcasting, that's what they're imagining. So if you
yeah,
use any kind of microphone, Strongbear and I discovered, if you use any kind of microphone that has a headphone jack on it, which your Scarlett interface might in a
yeah.
way, it's going to now not play the audio in the headset anymore. You don't hear it.
Wow. So if it's an audio interface that has an output on it, it just
I
won't
have a
in the
feeling it
audio.
might not work with that. It really is
Wow.
expecting. Well, for now, I'm hoping we can inspire the Meta people to give us an option ultimately.
Yeah.
Keep playing the sound in the headset. Now they're doing all this stuff very intelligently to make it so you can have chats and voice and do noise cancellation and and all the background noise goes away. So it's smart. Their mic inputs incredible, really, and even the sound in these headsets. Given that whatever they're doing, the audio is remarkable in there.
Yeah.
So but the secret we discovered, I kept buying microphones, I think Bear too, from Amazon, and they all had a little headphone jack, and it was like, it doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then I got what was the crummiest mic that didn't have the headphone, and it was like, hey, it works. And so we discovered that. So I even have a couple of condenser mics for podcasting, but I made sure I ordered the ones without a headphone jack.
Oh, wow. So I think as of right now, I think it's processing it and it's outputting it through my speakers.
Yeah, awesome.
Maybe
Is because I was under the impression that it wouldn't even output sound through the USB-C port.
No, that's the point. It's trying to put it out, but you don't hear it in the headset anymore. That's the problem.
Oh, okay, that's interesting though, because it is from what I just tested, I just heard what I played with the shimmer reverb on it, which is really
Good.
cool. Because then
Yeah.
it's going through my professional speakers instead of my headset speakers. I
I
prefer
think
that
so.
both ways.
Yeah, I
So
know.
that-
Well, what
that's
I'm
awesome.
thinking is, you want to know what you could do, Emery?
Yeah.
I bet you could take the headphone jack from your Focusrite interface or whatever, put a set of headphones on, and
Yeah.
then you get it back in your ears as if it
Well,
was coming from the
'cause
Quest.
I mean, yeah, it's going through my focals right now, so I'm not complaining. That's kind
No,
of
I hear
better
you.
than
I
me.
hear you.
So I guess the only thing that matters to me is when we start playing like later, if y'all can hear it normally, then that's already honestly a better case than what I was even expecting.
Well, I think it'll work for you in concert. Emery's playing a concert next week, and I have a feeling he's sneaking in an encore with
Yeah,
CsoundMeta.
a little
Now,
bit.
now, some of you, many of you who are watching this don't know me, but I like to joke. And so, right
Really?
now, Emery is doing his thesis project with me, and he wasn't using CsoundMeta, and so he had maybe a B minus. But now that he's using CsoundMeta, and he will throw it into his recital, I think we're talking, high B's or maybe even low A's. Emery, you're really moving right up.
Thought I could have earned
Wow,
that.
you could reach that height.
Wow. Lucky me.
Thank you for playing along with me, Emery.
Oh no, that's much more fun.
Well, sometimes when I tell jokes, people don't know I'm joking.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, we're going to listen to you jam for a second, just hearing
I
your
don't mean to
speakers.
interrupt. Like this, just wow. This just like the first shimmer reverb preset was already. I wish I need to learn how to share it because I would. Well, but my USB-C port's already taken, so I couldn't really do that without an adapter or something.
Yeah.
Just play for a second. We'll hear the speakers. No.
Oh, I think Zoom is filter out the background noise. So like maybe if you like share your audio through Zoom, then we'll be able to.
Oh, maybe I might need to turn original sound on for musicians. See if that works.
Yeah, it works. There you go.
That's a
Wow.
selfie with the trumpet and the headset. Yeah, that's
You
super
better stop.
cool.
I think we created a monster strong bear. We gave a copy of CsoundMeta to Emery.
It's got the jack coming out of my mute. I love that too because for smaller environments, it's like you don't have to. With trumpet, you're always getting that super loud, wet signal. So I love the idea of using this kind of mute so that in like a smaller environment, it could be like full wet, like shimmer reverb.
Beautiful.
Like that. It's
Nice.
so fun.
I've got to find out about your mute. You know I'm a trumpet player too. You know that, but most people don't.
Yeah,
So
it's the Yamaha Silent Brass. They have this this kind of preamp for it too that has a little bit of like an EQ curve because it has a pickup in it, and then it has this preamp that just modulates the pickup input a little bit to make it sound more natural, which is fun.
Nice.
I'm curious if this will translate to everyone else playing.
Well, this is a little problem how you would hear. We're still working on all of that too, how we share live audio.
Yeah.
We're sharing control, but right, Strong Bear, we're still working on how to share live audio.
Oh
Yeah,
so
because that I'm gonna introduce another problem because so far we share like kind of signal to the headset, so and then all the audio are generated from the headset. Now with the live audio, there will be a lot of data transferring, and it's gonna cause delay and all sort of stuff like that. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Will be a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Well,
you
you
use
know
a
me.
sampler,
You know,
is it a problem with the holding of the data? Like if you're doing sampler of the audio on Csound, I imagine that's using a lot of data as well, right?
Yeah. So save if we save the data and then kind of play back later is shouldn't be a problem. But if we want to play it live, so like for example, Emery play and then I be able to hear it and sing along with Emery, then that might be
Yeah, it's
difficult.
not a C-sound problem, Tyler, right? It's not our C-sound problem.
It's the connection.
Right.
It's the internet
It's the internet and like different
and Unity. And
right.
Unity. I mean, the Quest. I mean, it's the Quest and the internet. The Quest adds a delay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The internet adds a delay. And so there, I think, if I'm speaking correctly, right, Strongbear, that's where a number of the challenges will come.
Right.
Now, we're running out of time a little bit. It's 1:42. What I thought we would do is we're going to end at 2 o'clock. So I would love us to maybe do one more jam. It sounds like Emery wants to get in on this. Tyler, you can kind of jam with your sitar as well, I hope. And I don't know, we'll hear it, but you'll certainly hear you adding to the backgrounds that we create. And that will hopefully be happy for you. And like when I'm singing, even against the backgrounds that are here, sometimes I don't know that I'm contributing to the final mix that everyone's hearing, but I'm kind of liking the music that I'm making. I am sharing it, so some of you are hearing when I'm singing, but you know, it's
I can also just play with the orbs too.
yeah.
That makes more sense.
So that would make more sense right now that we can have you as a live player. So let's just close out today's live stream with another jam. I'll plug in my MetaQuest, make sure I'm sharing. And again, Strongbear, you'll be sharing from the client side, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me make sure we're doing this. I need to allow USB.
And Emery, if you want to add your live trumpet to the mix, maybe you could share it through Zoom. We'll be able to hear it.
Yeah, I'm honestly, this is like giving me a lot of ideas for like the live performance too. Like maybe this time I'll try not joining yours and I'll try just doing my own and I can just send it over Zoom and we can just as like a random, because I won't be playing super in time or anything.
Huh?
That's yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's possible too.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea. Let me make sure I'm casting. I am. Good. So now I'm going to get back here to Zoom and share. And I'm going to tell it to share just the casting screen. Okay. So it looks like I'm sharing just the casting screen and now audio is on. And I'm going to stop passing through. I'm going to make my mallets a little bigger. I'm going to choose a movement. Someone has joined me, I see. Good. So joining is happening. I think this CS startup is kind of fun. Maybe not. That's you, Tyler, I think, right? Nice. Rumble. You can't strike it if it's far away from you. But you can connect to it with a patch cord. Nice. Whoa.
Tin nhiều con gọi chắc của nó đấy. Đéo cả quả bóng Mỹ thì quả bóng đấy đi cũng nhiều. Nó như vậy. Chạy đấy. Miếng chạy miếng cỡ ba đi. Theo ra tôi phải nghĩ cả quả bóng vào trong đấy, quả bóng của mình.
Ah, trumpet. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Things are breaking up. Sort of an abrupt ending there. but I think Emery is still jamming. Emery, take us out. No, don't stop. Final solo.
Nice.
There you go.
I'm not sure. Could y'all hear me at all while you were playing?
Oh,
I guess
yes,
if it was-
absolutely. We got quiet in a few spots and let you come through. It was great.
Yeah, this is giving me a lot of ideas for. Hold on, I need to take these Bluetooth headphones off. They're totally messing me up. I feel like it's an awesome like concept because like normally we can't really like play live together across acoustic instruments like with the current technology unless you're using that crazy fast network stuff. But if we were playing live, it's like an interesting concept if we had like a mixer almost of like there's like the one representing everything and then anyone playing like a live instrument could just have their own input going into the mixer, so you're just doing it through hardware like sound to mix together like the acoustic performers and electric performers and stuff. But then I'm curious by that logic if there's a way that you could solo an object, so as like if I was playing trumpet I could like solo my effect processing objects in the scene just for me and then send my sound to like a mixer or something with everything. I don't know, I'm just like it's making me think a lot about how you would do
Yeah,
that.
we're working on all kinds of interesting mixer models right now, Emery. Part of it, the same reason, I don't think I'm coming at it from exactly where you are, but I'm starting to think, I have this premiere of a string quartet I'm working on for November. And I'm thinking, boy, it would be nice to save presets of the violin going into this kind of effect group or the cello in this effect group, things like that. So I haven't quite, but I'm working with some really interesting designs now on how to do that and dynamically allocate voices and absolutely solo muting and clipping and limiting and
Yeah,
things like this. So, I'm working on some Csound models for that, but yeah,
that's
I
super
appreciate your
fun.
suggestions so much.
Yeah,
we
I'm
still
gonna
live
think about it a lot and I'll write something in the Discord about it.
Please, yes.
Yeah.
Are we
Like,
still live casting?
I think that's an interesting idea. So now, like, CsoundMeta is taking on all the responsibility for mixing things, but like we could absolutely use a separate mixers, and that like each headset will have its own like sound, and use that mixer to make all kind of two different approaches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we're about done with today's screencast. So if anyone would like to add a little bit more to the recording, or some thoughts or some experiences, please do. And if uh, if not, then we would say goodbye and tell you it's looking like we're going to do another live session and discover more, put out some more fires, answer some more questions, have some more people join us. I will be back in Boulanger Labs, New England, where I have a little more space and we won't bump into each other so much, but I still thought we did pretty well with objects not really getting out of hand too much, and nice things were happening. So I want to thank everyone who joined us today. And I hope that even in this recording, some of the possibilities that we discovered together and that we explored or shared will inspire those of you who are watching later, and uh, and we'll join that Discord channel and share your ideas there and your dreams. Make your Csound dreams known, or your musical dreams known, because they may very well be able to become part of the CsoundMeta app and become part of Csound in the metaverse. So I just want to thank you all for joining us today. Bear, do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, this is awesome to see like more and more coming to join us in the live jamming. So it's getting more and more fun. So happy about that.
Great. Well, thank you all very much. I think we should end today and say goodbye. Take care of yourselves, and keep dreaming, keep making sound, making music, and turning your whole world into a piece of beautiful music. That's the goal.
Nice.
Gonna end the live stream.
See y'all later.
See you in a bit.